Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is your humble servant, Mr. Smith, with some more unplugged wisdom. A friend of mine sent me this clip, and it's from a YouTube channel that has millions of views. This particular clip that I'm about to show you I'm only showing you a snippet of it. Fair use, but it had like 3.5 million views or something. So it's a very mainstream, I guess somewhat popular YouTube channel. But my friend sent me this clip, and so I want to give a shout out to him and thank him for sending me this clip. And he also sent me a Bible scripture to go with it. So we're going to look at it real quick. And the clip is titled something like They laughed at this house until they looked inside. And it shows all these cool different homes, right? That's what the YouTube channel, this particular YouTube channel does. And it shows all these cool, interesting homes. And they're about to show you a whole underground facility, with various luxury apartments going all the way down into the ground. In an old missile silo in Kansas. Okay, now it's been well known by many that there's a whole underground network under the United States and around the world. What they do down there, we hear a lot of things. It's well known, or maybe not so well known, but it is a fact that there is underground tunnels under the Getty Center in Los Angeles, and those tunnels go various places around the city. And allegedly some not so cool things happen down there. So anyway, however, let's roll this clip, and I want us to think very hard about what this clip is showing us. Okay, and I want to remind you, this is very mainstream. It's very factual. So let's get into the clip and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Oh, and real quick, this video was posted in October of 2020. So it's very recent, within the last year. So let's take a look.
You've got two choices: burn up in an intense fireball with the rest of the peasants, or wait out the end of the world in pristine luxury. The converted Atlas missile silo, buried 200 feet below the ground in rural Kansas, is the billionaire doomsday prepper's paradise. The perfect combination of end-of-days protection and sophisticated comfort. The silo was originally built to withstand nukes 100 times more powerful than the one dropped on Nagasaki. Now, rich benefactors can purchase apartments within the 15-story bunker from between $1.5 million and $4.5 million each. From the outside, it doesn't look like much. A barbed wire fence, some security cameras, and a single guard standing outside two 8-ton steel doors in the hillside. Behind those doors are 15 fully equipped floors of amenities, including medical facilities, hydroponic farms, a supermarket, classrooms, cinemas, a bar, and even a gym with a sauna. And for those that like to watch the world burn, the bunker is fitted with screens so you can watch real-time feeds of the carnage above as you relax with a margarita. Secret underground lair. Back in the 80s, we were a paranoid bunch.
Okay, there you go. Now, let's ask the question, why in the world would anybody pay millions of dollars to live underground? And somebody might say, well, it's just a gimmick. It's just something fun to do. They have money to burn. $4 million is nothing to these elites. Yeah, why not live underground? Yeah, right. That's what No, think about it. They're telling you right in front of your face, it is mainstream now that they are planning to go underground. So you think the elites might know something that we don't know? You think they might know something that's coming? I think they do. And one of their forms, they call it lesser magic. They tell you what they're going to do. And if you don't believe it, if you think it's just silly or whatever, well, then that's on you. So yeah, they're planning to go underground. And if you think this is the only facility that's like this, there's a lot more. And at the end of the clip, it was going into the next facility or house, and it said, what did it say? It said, in the 1980s, we were paranoid, and everybody, that idiot, they always do this, okay? I was a teenager in the 1980s. I'm not the oldest dude out there, but, I've been around. We weren't that paranoid in the 80s, and everybody wasn't living in underground bunkers or had an underground shelter. That's silly. But they always do that. They cheapen reality by saying, oh, in the 80s it was like this. Everybody was going underground and nothing happened then. Okay, don't be fooled by that stuff. They're telling you. I mean, again, ask yourself the question, why the heck would people with that kind of money even bother to live underground in a missile silo if they didn't think something was coming? And our government's been bombing Iranian military bases in the Middle East. So you think they might know something? Okay, so it's time to prepare. Now I'm going to read this scripture here for those of you that might want to hear it. It's from Isaiah chapter 2. Now, if you don't know, Isaiah was a prophet, and he was shown a vision of the end days. Okay, and if you don't believe me, read Isaiah, start at the beginning of chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 17. Okay, so this is Isaiah 2:17, and it says, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols he shall utterly abolish. It's talking about Christ. Christ is in the Old Testament, people. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver, his idols of gold, which they made to each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the jagged rocks for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. And then Isaiah says in this last scripture in chapter 2, cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? In other words, what that means is, don't trust men, our politicians. All right?
The perfect combination of end of days protection and sophisticated comfort.
This is your humble servant, Mr. Smith. And please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.